wait. Oh, sometimes, right. What was it saying?
Here it says the S1 in English.
Okay.
Maybe that's the interpretation.
Listen, I'm sure she'll talk about it. I really want to get in touch with her. I want to invite her to come talk to us. I'm so thankful. Somebody said to me, Doba, why don't you write a book? I said, somebody did. I don't, this is just absolutely amazing.
Is she in Yerushalayim?
I think she's in England, but I'm sure she goes to everywhere.
What are you doing there?
Right. Her husband's a Diane. Anyways, we are on chapter 3 of Perek Shira. Welcome. Every picture has its own song, so it really is. You know, you could just jump in it at any time. Okay, so chapter 3 is the song of plant life. Okay, so it's a whole different chapter. Plant. Okay, so the pasuk is Az Yiranenu Hatzei Yamar B'fnei Hashem Kiba Lishbot Es Haaretz. Then all the trees of the forest will sing with joy before Hashem, for He will have come to judge the earth. Okay, I usually bring my other Perek Shira, and I usually don't bring this, and to bring the other one because of the beautiful pictures. But I mean, yeah, it's a great one. It is a great one. But the other one, the breads of life, good morning. Just starting now. Yeah, you know, if I know that you're going to bring yours every time, then maybe I won't.
Yeah,
because sometimes I have schlepping because I go to work. Okay, so the trees that it's talking about. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, maybe we look at the Hebrew word.
Yes. Az Yeranu. Okay, we could understand that. Az, first of all, Az a lot of times has the implication of Shira. Az Yashirusha. Okay, so we know there's a hint here that there's going to be a song coming up. Yeranu, is being happy. Gila, Rena, all the words for being happy. We're going to be happy. We're going to rejoice. I'd say trees of the forest. This is non-fruit bearing trees. Okay. I'd say a yar are non-fruit bearing trees. Okay. Before Hashem. I'm telling you, I just cannot believe this. It's just so incredible. The tree is from the third chapter of the tree.
First pasuk of the third chapter.
Kiba lishvat es haaretz, coming to judge the earth. Okay, we're gonna go slow so I don't ruin it. Okay, so first of all, it's taken. This is from Divrei Yamim, which I had never opened before in my life. What?
Chronicles in English.
Yeah, it's like not exactly something that many people learn. That's why it's so much fun to learn Perek Shira, because you get to learn all these things that you never get to learn. So it's taken the chapter about how David brought the Aron of Kodesh to Yerushalayim, and there was a lot of celebration. You know, okay. So we know that man is compared to the tree of the field, right? I was thinking of a song, but I'm sure there's a song I can't remember. Anyways, Ishu Esasadeh. And then like I decided yesterday that I'm quoting everything that I quote from her book in pink because it's such a card to her for this book. How I was even thinking of giving this class. Okay. With a trunk firmly planted in the earth, but its head reaching heavenward with branches and fruit. So just like hello, good morning. This is an incredible thing for what a tree does. Okay, now in Shmos Rabbah was talking about how many trees there's many uses for trees to do mitzvahs. Want to try and think of some?
Well, here, the Mishkan.
Right,
Right, the Mishkan. Right, you said it was connected.
Oh, here's one also. Here's one. Wine, well, no, that's not tree, but we're gonna do wine. We're gonna do wine next.
No, I'm saying,
No,
you're saying the leaves are connected to the tree.
Yeah, but
The
wine grapes are not on
Yeah,
the tree.
it's not on the
Wine
tree.
is not,
Grapes are not on. And it's the next one.
And it's the next one. Okay, so I'll tell you the examples that they give in the Shmos Rabbah. The paraduma. What?
How does that connect?
What exactly? What? So they needed burning wood from the cedar and hyssop. Purifying waters.
Of Lebanon.
Right. In Mitzrayim, Hashem commanded that the blood be placed on the doorpost with what? Also the hyssop. So what was the hyssop in Hebrew? What does it say that Hashem said to put on the doorpost? Okay. Right. Sure it's in here. Sure it's in here. Okay. So she says, trees sing when they're physically used for a higher purpose, for a mitzvah, a direct expression of the will of Hashem. So the trees are singing, and their song is that they get to be used for mamash mitzvah, mamash direct command of Hashem. Okay? So listen to this, I love this. Hashem planted, Avram Avinu planted trees, right? We know that. What did Yaakov do with these trees?
Who? What?
Hold on a second.
Who?
Yaakov.
Can't hear you well.
What did Avram Avinu planted trees? What did Yaakov Avinu do with these trees? Brought them down to Mitzrayim. Same trees, right?
He brought the trees?
Yeah, the cedar wood. How would they have these long things for the Mishkan? Right. So Yaakov brought them down to Mitzrayim, and then the Jewish people carried them into the desert. Same trees, right? Then they were used for the Mishkan. And now the trees finally sang Shira. They had their purpose, right?
Because they're not part of the ship?
Sorry?
They're singing because they're part of the ship?
Yeah, Mishkan, yeah. Inanimate objects of Shira is waiting to be unleashed through their use in divine service and devoted to Hashem. So you have a tree and you get to use it for a mitzvah. And it said somewhere else that, like, let's say you have chicken soup. So the chicken on Shabbos. So the chicken gets its
Elevation.
tikkun. Is it a good spot word? Gets its tikkun, right? But if you say the song of the chicken in Perek Shira, then all chickens get the tikkun. Yeah. Okay. Now this part is incredible. We don't understand. What? We didn't understand. We didn't hear. Which part? Which part? No. With the chickens? Yeah. She says, I think it's in here. We all know, like you tell your kids, make a bracha on the chicken soup, and the chicken is so happy. Whenever they're eating him, they'll come and chat with him, getting this cool. Like, it's so lucky that a Jewish family is making a bracha and eating him the cup of chocolate, right? They did, but that's just that bird. They're not many chickens in the world. How are they gonna get their chickens? So if you say the same thing, chicken would be sure, then all chickens.
When do you say it?
What?
When do you say it?
When do I say what?
While you're eating it? Or before you eat it? After you eat it? When do you say it?
Oh, I don't know. I presume you say the cup of Shabbos Kodesh before you, and each.
No, so where do you say it's Perek Shira?
Or just when you say Perek Shira, maybe that's.
Well, that's the whole point.
It's to say, when
To
you
say,
say Perek
the
Shira.
point is to say.
Then all chickens are.
But you say it, what Doba's saying is that when we say Perek Shira
Mhm.
for the chicken, then all the chicken.
I understand that. But when do you say it on Shabbos before you eat the chicken soup? After you eat the chicken soup?
Oh, I don't know what other people do. I usually say it right before, like, this is just me.
Okay.
This is just me, it's like, I feel like on the Shabbos suit, I wash, I'm mostly like I'm in the Aris, and then by the time I get to the chicken, where's my kavana? So I just say like, Shabbos with the chicken, because it's just like,
I mean, you just say like Rosh Hashana. Listen, we would say on Perek Shira and then our soup.
exactly.
No, but you're not saying it at the Shabbos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whenever you say, whether it's on Shabbos or during the week or whatever.
Yeah.
So, elevating
Right. But you're only elevating that whatever on the plate.
Yeah, but if you say Perek Shira, anytime,
All the
elevating
chickens.
the whole world.
It's just another case for saying
All the
Perek
chickens.
Shira.
Thank you.
But you could say it during the week and it's healthy and chicken on
Anytime.
Shabbos? Okay, all
No,
right.
because we just, like, how many of us, when we eat during the week, are in that mode of that we're eating, right, or that we're eating for any, I mean, like, on Shabbos, you eat, you're supposed to be eating a cup of Shabbos.
Right.
During the week, every time you eat, I don't know, do I think, oh, Hashem, please, this coffee, please give me more coffee? You know,
I
usually-
don't, but I try.
Okay.
I don't succeed except maybe once every month. But it really is, you're really supposed to be.
Exactly. So like I try when I put things in the oven, also not only just in Shabbos Kodesh, but my children feel the taste of this fish is gonna make them see that the taste of the Torah, whatever. People say when you're ironing, Hashem, please iron out all our problems. You should just, you know.
That's a very good way.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. I didn't make it up because I don't iron.
But it makes sense to do, say, when you're doing your, because you know, it's like when we dip the apple in honey, and we say, oh, okay, we're doing something. The action.
Exactly. That's what, right. Why do we do it? So we have an action together. Okay, now this is the part I was like, totally.
One question. When you say Perek Shira or chicken or ground or whatever, you're covering the whole world or just
Each thing.
covers that species?
Yeah. Whatever it is, the grasses, the green mold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is from Das Sakina. Okay, so I started off the class by saying that is that Judy wanted me to tie Perek Shira to Elul and to the Chagim, right? So then I was like, okay, how am I gonna do this? And then I thought of like the apple. Yeah, everybody knows you have to dip the apple in the honey. Okay, well, the apple's in Perek Shira. Good. Okay, I'm covered. Little did I know that the first one we were gonna do, which is the trees, has to do with it. And listen to this. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so the first thing we're doing now is trees. So we talked about the tree, right? We talked about how it wants to be used as for mitzvahs, right? And that's why the tree is going to sing with joy. But what about the second part of the pasuk? It says, "For Hashem will have come to judge the earth." Does judging have to do with trees? Listen to this. This refers to Israel and the nations of the world that Hashem judges on Yom Kippur. Hashem says, take your lulav in your hands and everyone will know that you are victorious in judgment.
You're what?
Victorious in judgment. The pasuk is saying, you're going to go through Yom Kippur, you're going to be judged favorably, you're going to be happy, you're going to be relieved. Kadima, yellow. Now we're going to go and find 4 species. We're going to get the lulav and the gossip, and that's what we're going to do. And that's the judgment that we're going to have, and that's why we're going to be so happy. What? 4. No, Rob was not. Okay. Okay.
No, Hadassim are more like a food.
Okay, well, whatever. Yeah.
Like what?
Right. So all that's definitely who would think that this is talking about the trees being happy because because after we get judged and we're gonna be so happy that we know we're judged favorably, what's our big mitzvah we're gonna do? It's gonna be with the trees. It's gonna be with the lulav.
Well, this is exactly what they say. God is put out.
So he goes, after he comes to judge the earth on Yom Kippur, we buy the Argamini. She says 4 types of trees. On the first day of Sukkot, we shake them during Hallel, and a physical expression of then the trees of the field will rejoice. Yeah.
It's like the shaking is like a rejoicing, like a dancing or rejoicing.
They do. We go around and.
Yeah, no,
We don't, but we just take it for a second.
Yeah.
But in shul, they go around and shake them and.
The shaking itself is like.
So it says over here,
Ah,
it says over here, this page 133, it says, and you shall take for yourselves on the first day. The lulav that we take on the first day of Sukkot is a sign that we were victorious in judgment on Yom Kippur, and that is why it says. I mean, did you ever put that together? That we take the lulav because it, and that's why it says, then the trees of the forest will rejoice before Hashem, for he has come to judge the land. And about whom does this pasuk speak? About Yisrael and the nations of the world. Hashem judges on Yom Kippur. They both go into judgment, and we don't know who's victorious. Hashem said, take your lulav in your hands, and everyone will know that you are victorious in judgment. A parable is brought about 2 men who went into judgment before the king, and the rest of the people did not know who was victorious. But one who walked out with a white stick, or one with an apple in his hand, signified that he was victorious before the king. So we come out and we're like, let's go, yeah, and it's so nice to learn about this now because we're in the beginning of the we start Rosh Hashana and we end up with like from now until Simchas Torah, we're just on this literal roller coaster of emotions and of Hashem and everything that we have to go through from now until Simchas Torah and it's good before we even start. We know it's going to be good. And how do we know that? Because there's a pasuk, and the pasuk is forever, right? So, yeah, that's the trees. It's hard to like just go, okay, next. It's just like, yeah, let's sink it in. Yeah, I recommend this book so much. It's just so
It
good.
changed the,
No,
it's a new one or it changed the, it's a new one.
this one?
Rebbetzin Shoshana Tupin. She also has Shirim on Torah anytime. You want to listen? Okay, next one is the grape. We're going to do is the grape. The grape. Actually, it's not the grape. It's the vine. It's not the grape. It's the vine. Should I say that again? It's not the grape. It's the vine. It's a little confusing because we have the grapes.
My pictures of the grapes.
What?
A picture of the grapes.
Of course it is. Because, okay, well, you're going to learn this. I did it. We're going to understand this. Okay? What? And don't let it be overwhelming to them. It's like 2 million pages because each thing has like 3 pages. It's really easy reading. You agree, Aura?
It is just, but there's so much, it's easy reading, but there's so much content in those 3 pages.
Right, yeah.
You have to keep reading it over.
Yeah, but just think, just what that would be. Is you have a whole week, either before or after the class. It's like the best review, like.
Wait, I need the bottom to see the author. Yeah, you could order anything there.
You can always ask them to order.
So,
I got it in Jerusalem, I called Pomerantz and they delivered it.
I just think we should try and give her.
To what?
I think you're supposed to try and give people in your community Parnassa.
I'm still part of Jerusalem.
Okay.
You can't take that away from me.
Okay, now, so we're moving on to the Geffen. It's a little bit longer. From Isaiah. Okay, I'll read it in Hebrew and in English. Ko Amar Hashem. This says Hashem. Kisher imsa hatirush ve'eshka va'amar atishkisihu kibrachavo ken asat laman avdi lebuilding hashchit hakol. This is what Hashem says. When the wine is found on the cluster, and someone says, do not destroy it because there's blessing in it. so will I do for my servants, not to destroy everything. Meaning, we've got like, we don't need the vines. We don't need the vines. We need the grapes. No, you do need the vines. You don't have the vines, you don't have the grapes. Right? So so the point is that it's not the song of the grape. It's the song of the vine. So why? What are we learning from this? What are we learning from this? I'm going to explain this. We need the vine because the vine is holding the grapes. And we need the grapes for eating them and for wine and for kiddush and whatever. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the vine, not the grapes. So she says, this is beautiful. Bittersweet comes that Hashem will never totally annihilate us. It's like saying, you could say, well, let's just if you would just look at the vine, it's called tunnel vision.
I can't hear you.
Tunnel vision?
Mhm.
If you would just look at the vine and go, I can't eat this, I can't do anything, I thought just get rid of it. And then we say, no, there's grapes on there. You don't get rid of the vine. There's grapes. Wait. Be patient. I think she says in here, Rome wasn't built in a day. Just a second. Actually, I think that's the dates. Anyway, the dates. Anyways. You could look at the vine, right? The hard. There's nothing you can do. You might want to throw it out. But that's silly. You have to wait. Because there's going to be grapes growing on the vine. So it's really going a little bit further back between about how many times do we have to wait to see what's going to happen?
It's a good lesson in life.
Don't throw the baby in the bathwater. I ask my sons, because sometimes they say, do you ever hear the expression, the grass grows green on the other side? And the grass is green on the other side. Ken, Desha, you tell you work with that, they'll just say it in Hebrew, right? So then I asked them, I heard an expression in Hebrew, Al tizroket atinoki ma'amayim shalom bach. And they're like, no.
Some of them do not know that.
Sometimes it does not translate. That's not what it's about. Okay, so basically, we're compared to a carefully tended and much loved vineyard of Hashem. Okay, we're the vineyard of Hashem. And Hashem's not don't worry about it. Like, it just seems like sometimes, and people do freak out. Like, this whole thing of when Trump was running for president, and there were people who said if Trump loses, moving to Israel.
If he wins,
No.
Those people aren't gonna move to Israel, are you kidding?
And
They were moving to Canada.
They hate Israel.
No, she's saying people who are for him want.
Yeah. Right. And this is Rabbi in all cities goes, you're going to make a decision to move to Israel? A goy is going to run a goyish country. That's why you decided whether or not you should move to Israel. And if he moves in, okay, we're okay. Please. So we have to remember, sometimes, so many times in history, so many times. Remember that scene at the end of Fiddler on the Roof when the guy comes to the rabbi and says, Rabbi, we've been waiting for the Messiah. Right?
That's the beginning of the movie, not the end.
No.
That's towards the beginning.
No.
They're leaving.
Oh, when they're leaving?
They leave.
Oh, I was thinking of another thing that the rabbi said. Yeah, I did too. I've seen it many times. Yeah. We'll have to wait for somewhere else. Right. And the Tefka.
Because also Rabbi Rosen said in the same class, he said when Corona came, people thought, during the time of Corona, people thought Mashiach's coming. This is it. And when people opened up the door on the Seder night and did not see Mashiach, people were really, really disappointed. But you shouldn't be disappointed because it is Geula. Because Geula is a process. And Corona is part of the process of the
So
Geula.
many people made out the other. Found out they could make pronouncing here.
Uh-huh.
And you can do it on the computer and.
Right. The bottom line is like whatever. I mean, who is it? Is it Mark Twain or one of them who said that the Jew, it doesn't make sense.
Mark Twain.
That the Jew has been through, that we're still here.
Right.
It's like, but beyond. So it's really a song of hope. Like, we're not gonna get,
He came to Israel, Mark Twain.
did it?
Yeah.
And it talks about it in that book. Actually. Yeah.
Okay, so this is, okay, so now there's, one of my favorite things is Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the second base in Mikdash. He gets to ask, he gets to ask the Roman general Vespasian. They say, what do you want? Right, and there's famous words. Ten liyavna. Sorry.
What?
Ten liyavna. Give me,
Talmudah.
give me the city of Yavna and his students. And people say, well, why didn't you just ask for the Mikdash? You know, hello? Because he knows. So he would get the base of Mikdash, it would get destroyed. He asked for three things. He asked for ten liyavna, asked for a doctor for Tzadok, and I think maybe something to do with the Sanhedrin. I'm not sure. Anyways, so he asks for to establish Shiva in the city of Yavna after the Horban, the second base in English. And why is it so important? Is because people say Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai saved Torah for all time, because if you're not going to have it, it's kind of like what Judy was saying. If you're not going to have the Shiva, then we're going to be in big trouble, right? This I actually got from some site thing, and it said temple, like a Goyish, and it actually had temple with a capital T. It's like, wow. You know, it said help preserve and transmit the Torah following the temple's destruction. So, what's the name of the yeshiva in Yavna? Karen the Yavna. Karen is a vineyard. What? Karen. What? The name of the yeshiva. What's the name of the yeshiva? Karen the Yavna. Vineyard. You know, and what?
I don't know what this is. A couple days ago.
In Yavna?
Is
there-
in the
is there-
yeshiva. Her cousin.
Is there like things to see or something?
No, they had a family gathering.
Oh, so they have a big sign there, tent.
They were family connected way back to.
Okay, so basically, what is he doing? He's giving his yeshiva this bracha, this kala of a vineyard, because we're in a vineyard. So he named the Karen. Yeah.
So Karen means vineyard?
Yeah.
Is it like that great too?
Yeah.
Sharon with the noon with a min.
Karen.
yes.
Karen.
With the men.
Karen.
Oh, with the men. Okay.
Right.
And just as an aside, just don't forget that I'm not going to go into this, but just don't forget that at every important event in our lives, we get them.
What?
Kiddush, weddings, bris. Did you been?
No.
I'm just wondering.
You're right.
What?
I'm just agreeing with you. Everything.
Yeah.
Havdalah.
Havdalah, like it's always like it's really important part of being a Jew, you know. So she says,
And the same thing like also a boy can't.
yeah,
With an extra.
right, yeah.
And
Yeah, remember Welch's? Yeah. Welch's, right? The song of the vine is that Israel is the precious vineyard of Hashem. Although it fell into desolation, he continues to love his vine, and forsake the pockets of righteousness, he guards over it so it will never be completely destroyed. So it's the vine, but it's really word.
we're the Greek.
Sorry?
Clinging to the vine and holding
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
The fruit.
And then in this one, this is very beautiful what he says here. He says, the vine itself has no value, right? He said that, right? The vine itself has no value. It's important. What?
On the vine, not the
Vine.
without the grapes, without the grapes.
It's important is its fruit, right? Because of the fruit, the cluster is spared. And because of the cluster, the vine is spared. So too, Hashem preserves the world because of its righteous people, whose performance of his mitzvahs and study of his Torah are source of merit for multitudes who do not know this.
What?
Somebody writing something.
If you wrote something, I didn't see it. You want to try the question, Ray?
There is a message.
Okay, multitasking, right?
Hi, do you hear the terrible feedback?
Oh,
No,
sorry.
we don't.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so there you go. That's the moving right along.
Is Doba in the, is it
Turn it to Doba.
more?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, we're moving on to the Tehena. You know, Tehena, to me, I have a soft spot in my heart for the fig because I know what you guys, a lot of people I know don't eat that. You know, they say they're impossible to check. And then one of the Shivas is meeting, and
No,
I feel so bad. What?
I have tons of trees in my yard.
So it's like we need a ship come from the big get you know. Okay, so here the pasuk is very short. It says, "No tzertena yachal kriya." The protector of the fig tree will eat its fruit. Okay, what does that mean? So first of all, this is this very interesting thing about you learn about figs here, is that harvesting figs is very labor intensive. Because you can't squish them.
And they're so delicate.
Very, that's okay. So basically, what they say is that almost all fruit has a harvesting season, and you go and they're all ready and you pick them all. But Tana is each one individual, and you won't want to pick it too soon, and you don't want to pick it too late. And we can go many things in our lives. You know, like let's say shidduchim. You know somebody who's in seeing somebody and they're not sure if they should get married. You don't want them to get what? Let's sign. Let's do the tonight. Let's break the let's yeah. Maybe hold on. Maybe it's not the right one. But then you don't want it to drag on. Also, it ain't gonna be good. It ain't good. Just actually, one of my couples went to. They couldn't make the date. They couldn't. And they went to somebody, Rosh Hashana, and this person, actually this might be a little, spoke to my son and then spoke to the daughter, my daughter-in-law, and said, everything looks very good. She just has to make a decision. There's no problems that need to be worked out. There's no there's difficulty. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's just her that has to make a decision. My daughter-in-law has to be ready.
Right, timing is everything.
She can make decisions. Yeah, her mother's been married 3 times. But
She was too late.
yeah, so also to drag it on and say, don't worry about it, take your time. No, that's also not good. I mean, listen, if they're meant to get married, look at that. And there's couples who break things off and then a year later get engaged, right? So whatever. But there's just a certain thing with our timings. We learned this from the fig, this timing, okay? So it says, so it says, and he who guards his master will be honored. Oh, sorry. The pasuk that we have, no Tzertena Yachal Kriya, the protector of the fig tree will eat its fruit. But if you would go in Mishlei and read the whole pasuk, the rest of the pasuk says, and he who guards his master will be honored. Okay, so the Malbim says he must be with his master each morning to gather the fruit, which are the produce of his wisdom. Okay, so it's like what we said. What we said is about he has to go every day and see if there's any figs that are ready, because they all become ready at different times. And if he doesn't go one day, goes on the tea roll, comes back the next day, it could be too late. He missed some. It's overripe already. So who do they compare this to? Yahushua.
The fig is like this, you have to take it like this.
So it says Yeshua did not move or offend the tent, and through this he will be honored. He merited that Moshe placed his hands on him. So I'm going to read it and then say my own words. Okay. So basically, they're saying this is what Yeshua did. They're comparing Yeshua to somebody who watches over the fig trees. He went, we said you have to go every day to check and things are ready. So Yeshua stayed by Moshe every minute, to make, he didn't want to lose anything. Stood by his side, sat at his feet, and then what reward did he get? That Moshe Rabbeinu ordained him. So the guarding of the fig tree is a parable for the seeker of wisdom. Somebody who just keeps going. You don't just say, I'm good, I know, I'm good. But he just keeps going. He's not satisfied. He's gonna keep going. So in Midbar Rabbah it says, why is the Torah compared to a fig? So most plants are all harvested at the same time, but the figs are gathered bit by bit. And same thing for the Torah. One can't learn it all in a year or two. You can't say, well, yeah, I went to seminary. Okay.
Yeah, you're done, right?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm good.
Right.
Torah greatness comes from decades of dedicated investment at the foot of a teacher.
Here we are.
And that's the first lesson of the fig tree. Okay, is like just being dedicated and being there and being what's the word? Like being not being like laissez-faire. Listen, you want it, like I keep saying this, like it would be great to get this book and you have the whole week to read either before or after.
We have to
works for
order it
you.
if we get it. It doesn't come, it's not gonna come like immediately. If we order it from Gems or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, because then you would have it would be more, like, and then you get to underline my husband and I are starting to found this paper. Oh my gosh, it's a Chassidisha, Perush, and Sharabi Tachon. So, Sharabi Tachon. So my husband found a book, Chassidisha explanation. Oh my.
Another one?
Yeah, it's in Hebrew.
A new book?
Yeah. So he ordered 2 copies so we could learn together. He said, "You're writing in the copy?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Don't write in the copy." I said, "No, I'm writing in the copy." He said, "No, just put stickers in the." "No, I'm writing in my copy."
Oh, I also like.
I said, "I teach and I need to go back and I need to."
I
No,
like
I'm
when I
writing.
wrote on the, every
I
time
write
on
it-
my paper, they're
I
right
write
there.
with pencil on the track, and she's like, "I don't know." She takes a pen, she's writing all over the place. Okay, so.
Very, very good.
Pencil
Because I bought the
Kashmir.
no emphasis.
Okay, so that's the first lesson. The first lesson is that we're saying that toward greatness comes with decades of dedicated investment. Just like you can't just go once, not once a year, you can't go to the crop one harvest and pick it all, and that's the end of it. We're learning from the figs, no, to keep at it, okay? Second lesson is, this is from Eruvin. Why were matters of the Torah compared to a fig tree?
Why is what? Matters of the Torah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as the fig tree, whenever a person searches for it, figs can be found, right? You go to an apple tree, and all the apples were taken down. You're looking for an apple tree, there's not gonna be any apples. But every time you look at a fig tree, there's figs. So what do we learn from this? So too, in matters of the Torah, whenever a person meditates upon them, he finds meaning in them.
Layers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I learned that already.
Right.
There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing, I learned that.
Because there's always more.
There's always
always
more.
more.
There's always more. And even if you say, I learned something, I'm trying to think of something very specific. I can't give an example. There's nothing.
That's why we did my, that's why we did my function here again and again and again. Year after year
always.
Do you know how many Perushim there are on Rashi?
Oh,
Is it like
I don't
500
know.
or something?
I have no idea, no.
How many explanations there are on Rashi? Like you say, no, I've been doing so much of Rashi for years. I'm not going to do that anymore.
No, the thing is that we are revealed another dimension. It's different from this one. So it's really something like
No, we're different. We're
totally. So we
change.
need all perspective.
Yes.
Yes. We don't compare with one hearing one time.
The more one delves into the sea of Torah, the more insight he will gain. Rabbeinu Yonah said, Rabbeinu Yonah says, what is meant by notzer, right? The pasuk says, notzer tena, which we translate as like the protector, the guarder of fruit, right? My poor family, I go around and say, do you know what the difference is between notzer and shomer? You know, and they're Israeli, right? We know it. If I would say guard this, probably we translate with shomer. Notzer is different.
What's the word? Yotzer?
Notzer. So it's in the pasuk. It's in the pasuk. Notzer tena. It's in the pasuk.
Yeah, the protector.
Right. But notzer is different because notzer is guarding that includes improving the item. Improving. Carrying out any maintenance work that needs fixing. So we're not just, if you tell me to watch this book, I'll watch it. But I'm not going to improve on it. But with certain things, there's a certain connotation of improving it. One who guards the fig tree is an active guard. He's not just standing there making sure no one comes in and out of the road, whatever. No, he's there, seeking out the good of the tree, active in promoting it. And again, we have Yoshua, the faithful servant of Moshe, who is also his greatest advocate. So this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to when we want to guard something, we're supposed to be like working on it. I always say Haknas Orpim is I don't know, another mitzvah which has so many levels. Like I could say, here's some water, or I could say, do you want a glass cup? Do you want a ceramic cup? What kind of cup do you want? Do you want water? Do you want cold water? Do you want coffee?
What do you want with your water?
Yeah. Do you like some lemon in it?
If you like to lay down, now they can drink your
Yeah,
water.
exactly. This working has no boundaries. It's just like, just keep going, right? And that's what depends on how you want to do it. And how, whatever. So basically that's the third lesson, is that exertion, desire, and sacrifice bear fruit. Not only in gaining tourism, but in all spiritual pursuits. The psukim that Chabad say, well, psukim. So one of them is one of them is Imatati, Yagati. Good. If you say, I looked for and I couldn't find it, like, don't believe it. But if he says, I strived, basically we know that you can't just say, when kids will go, I can't find my shoes. Look for it. Or many husbands don't know that they have to move the water to find the ketchup. It's an amazing thing, right? Where's the ketchup? I don't know. Why don't you just move things in the fridge? Or would you like, this is my secret of Shalom bias, the sense of humor. I say to them, the ketchup is in the fridge. Would you like me to get it for you? You can handle that. I will yell for you. I think you can.
That's your secret to Shalom bias.
Well, he laughs. He does laugh. So there you go. Because so many times I say, no, but listen, now we've been married for a few years. Now I'll even say, okay, I know the ketchup. You're gonna make me look like an idiot. I know the ketchup is in the fridge. But I do not see it anywhere. There's no, Doba, there's no catching fish. I said, "Mark, you know what? Maybe it's finished." Could be. So in the RO, there's another one, you know. He knows though that it's like, it would be a big trouble to open a new one if there's still an old one, you know. Anyways,
But you know, sometimes it's really in front of us and we don't see it.
100%. That's the whole thing with Hagar. That's the whole thing. They say that when Hashem showed Hagar the water, that it was always there. He didn't make a nace. I mean, it says he opened her eyes. It doesn't say he put water. So,
Something I was looking for.
what?
I was looking for something more different, but I got out of what I was looking at some kind of Rosh Hashana. Stream of river. I put it away because I was scared of losing it with too much time. And then I was taking it out the drawer. I'm like, oh, what's new? I go in there to every single time.
The worst thing is when you go into a room and can't remember why you're there.
Only when you leave and go back the other room, you remember why you had it.
So I knew it had to be somewhere, and I just was looking at it, I couldn't find it, so I took it to a different room, but I knew I had left the house, so I didn't like call the bank or anything, you know, and so, you know, looking at it for days and days, I'm like, it's gotta be here. Finally, I just like decided, I didn't have a credit card, okay, I'm going to the bank now, and I just can't say it to you. You know what? One thing I picked up like this piece of paper. I checked my No, thank God.
Wow.
Right, so as I said, this piece of paper, and I like threw the piece, I cleaned the top of my desk.
Sometimes you wonder if there's something else.
No, not to say, you know, when you go to a room or something, and then you forget what info, go back out.
Right.
Start looking.
Oh, yeah, no, I do that too.
Because what happens
The scene of the
if you
crime,
lost
you-
another dimension?
Right.
That what?
You lost another dimension when you went into that room.
Oh, yeah.
And therefore, you know, you can forget. I don't know how, maybe that's why we have
The door.
the process, that's why we have to do that. But you forget,
Yeah.
so, yeah, so come back out.
Reenact the scene of the
Good
crime.
idea.
Right.
It'll come right.
You know, this thing about like the fridge. But I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Okay, but I know. Someone that told me to, like, we just went over another.
I think I
The
told
good thing about this thing, when you lose something, it's a very humbling experience. And then you have more compassion and understanding with other people who lose things, and you don't judge them, you don't feel annoyed, and how that you did whatever. Because you see it happens to you too, so you can really gain in your Ritos by losing something.
I must have told you guys the story when it happened. It's just unbelievable. My husband has like this, I don't know what it is. He has these gadgets. Anyways, he was missing a tiny little piece of it. And he started getting like a little hysterical and stuff like that. To make a long
Does he
story.
blame you?
What?
Does he blame you that like?
No, but what he did is he proceeded to move everything in my bedroom toilet. Voila. It was right before Pesach. I had my bedroom clean for Pesach.
I remember that.
You remember that, right? It was
Show me of
crazy.
it.
And then, where did he find it? He's sitting like this. Excuse me, he's a man, he can sit like this. And he's got a hole in his pants. I said, Mark, don't do it. He's like, please. He takes off his pants and it falls on
Wow, that's amazing.
Can you imagine if you would have done that right away? I would have had my bedroom was clean. That's a crazy story, right? Because I just want to finish this up. So we're saying, it says the Shum Sarah Agras Perke Avos, commensurate to the pain reward. Sorry, according to how much pain we get is the reward. So this is what we're talking about with the fig. Is you work hard and you tend it, and you go back and you check it, you'll be rewarded. And then this is so great. There's a parable. I'll end with this. Okay, you might have heard this before. There's a parable of Rebbe Yehuda Nasi, right? that he was explaining to his friend Antonius why man's ultimate reward must take place in a future realm within the body. Okay, whatever. So this is the mushroom. He gives a parable about there's a person who can't walk, and there's one guy, and then there's a guy who can't see. Okay, right? So why is she bringing this? Because for some reason they talk about this story takes place in a vineyard, in a place where figs are grown. Okay, so the person who can't see, oh no, okay, let's say the person who sees says, I see really yummy figs. We can still say, why am I getting so confused? Okay, we got this guy is blind. Okay, this guy can't walk. So the guy who's blind, so the guy who can't walk goes onto the back of the guy who's blind, and the blind person will tell him where to go.
No, the guy, not the blind, right?
The one who
The
can
see,
can't
tell
walk
him
will
where to
direct
walk.
the left, turn
He
left,
takes
left,
off.
straight.
Say it again. One who can't walk.
The one who can't walk, like sitting on his shoulders and saying, he directs the blind.
Right.
Right.
Okay, you guys got that?
Right.
Okay, good. So then the king comes and says, what are you doing? You're robbing my field. And the guy, one who's blind, says, hey, it's not my fault, I can't see. It's not me. And the guy who's
Can't walk,
can't
just sitting there on the
right,
ground.
right, he says, "No time, I can't go anywhere." So it's right, so that's the power of the body and the soul. The body says, hey, you gave me neshama, you gave me a soul that has a Yetzer Hara. It's not my fault. And then the soul says, are you kidding? Before I came into this world, I was completely pure. It's this body that you gave me, So at the end of the day, we are judged by both. We're both, the soul and the body is judged together. So if you want to go and get your figs, the moral story is be careful. Ask first. Don't steal. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem. So this is very exciting, because now we're up to the remote, which, as we know,
Rosh Hashana.
Rosh Hashana. And I was just listening to a story about this, and they said that there was a family together in Rosh Hashana, and the kids were not behaving, and it was like they didn't know what to do with themselves. It was just crazy. So